Dreaming Methods is a website in which the participant is prompted to click on the different files which make up a series of dreams. On the main screen, the participant has the option between 8 files stacked on their respective shelves, which in turn lead to 8 different stories. Each story is symbolized by a single word or phrase that draws the participant into clicking on it. After clicking, the participant is able to navigate through the story with limited amounts of success depending on which story they choose. The overall message of this website is to demonstrate the confusing and often nonsensical quality of dreaming, where an individual can both follow and become lost within what they are taking part in. With its almost indescribably creepy background images and sounds, Dreaming Methods mixes the intangible fear of scary stories with the humdrum qualities of daily life. These two attributes mix in the same way that they would in dreams, where everything makes perfect sense but at the same time does not. As it would be with analyzing a dream, understanding this website requires deep thought and a thorough understanding of symbolism and hidden nuances to fully comprehend any meaning. To be honest, I'm not actually sure what this piece is about. Without the website being titled Dreaming Methods, I would have just assumed that this website was a collection of weird stories, kind of like everyday happenings. What's being communicated is the idea that dreams are scary and spooky in the sense that they don't always make sense, while at the same time they feel like an everyday occurrence. Kind of like when you're dreaming, you don't really question what's going on, you just go with the flow of it. The observable elements within this piece work together to create a meaning by essentially not working together at all. The pictures don't fully or clearly go along with the stories, just as the stories don't necessarily associate directly with the words chosen to draw the participant to choose that story in the first place. For example, and excuse me if I laugh because it's kind of inevitable at this point, the word pantomime is used for the story called The Tale of the Girl Who Killed Herself with Laxative. I didn't understand why that was the word chosen for that story until close reading revealed that her silent struggle with the laxatives mimicked the silent performance of a pantomime, where performers show their struggle or emotions physically rather than with sound. In the story, she was essentially on the toilet, struggling and listening to her parents come in and random people come in her house, and she is just up there struggling with her laxatives. The structure of Dreaming Methods is a non-linear method of storytelling, where 8 seemingly unrelated stories are collected on a singular page. The structure itself begs the reader to find connection and meaning between the stories. The site has multiple paths that lead to 8 individual linear paths. There is no clear ending to the site, just the multiple story endings. This type of structure informs the core expression of what's next. Each story is so different from the others that there is no clear reason why they're all here together. At the beginning of each story, there is a gap that makes the reader almost have to stop before they can start reading words. In some cases, this gap exists as a question of where the participant should click to continue, where in other stories, it presents itself as a literal puzzle that has to be solved. The look of this piece has all the makings of an anxiety attack for an unprepared reader. The main page, as well as the 8 story pages, remain sporadically jumpy and flashy for the entirety of their time on the screen. The colors are dim and sepia-toned, which gives the misleading feeling of a classic horror movie. Everyday images such as a cornfield, a cassette tape, and a television should not have me worried, but they do. Is a guy with a chainsaw going to pop out of the cornfield? If I listen to this cassette, will I only have 7 days to live? As a participant, every dream I am looking at has the ability to immediately become a nightmare. The everyday can, in an instant, very easily turn into something horrifying. This design, with its misleading imagery and color scheme, as well as the creepy sound effects such as the wind, the white noise, and machinery, have almost no connection to the actual content, but they're here and they're used. As previously mentioned, this website uses a lot of different components to kind of bring it all together. The components of this website utilize sound, video, and graphic design, as well as text, to create the illusion of potentially horrific happenings that turn out to be nothing more than lackluster dreams. Using these components, the website tricks the participant into being nervous to read about bowel movements and playground fights. The interactivity of this piece is simplistic. Participants are prompted to click designated areas to continue on to the next part. It doesn't necessarily reflect any kind of aspect of the content, and it's just pretty easy to navigate. The ease of the navigation is justified in the sense that the rest of the website makes little to no sense, so something had to just kind of be given to the reader or participant to get them through it. Otherwise, it's kind of just a lot of nonsense and be a little bit too much effort to get through the nonsense in order to really get to the point of the website. Alright, so for my subjective response, I'm going to do this lovely little video. I feel like it's more personal than just like, a screenshot of the website and just kind of ranting. And also I'm going to keep looking down at my notes because I was like typing to myself while I was going through the website, so I would actually remember what to say. So, just for starters, I really thought I had something cool when I picked this website. It kind of just seemed really creepy when I first looked at it, and I was like, this is right up my alley. Like, I like creepy stuff. This is pretty cool. And I noticed that somebody had already picked a zombie one, which had me so bummed. But I figured this could be a close second because it looked creepy enough. But I was very wrong, sadly. The website was pretty much, I think, about dreams. I can't actually say for sure. I couldn't find any other information really about the website other than what I got from actually being on the website, which was the files and the links and just clicking around and going through dreams. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love dreams. I like creepy, weird dreams. I like fun adventure dreams. I like the fun deja vu feelings of like when you're driving down the road and you remember like, wait a minute, I dreamt about this sign, and you have like that little feeling of deja vu, and it's really kind of cool. So I had like seriously high hopes that the dreams discussed in this were going to be really awesome and scary, or kind of like, oh my god, like I had that experience, this is so cool. But again, I was pretty wrong. So, with the layout and the graphics, I was obviously led in the wrong direction. I'm not going to lie, I kind of just picked this without really going through it. I didn't click on anything when I decided I'm going to do this one. So, here's the thing with this website. The stories and dreams, they aren't scary or spooky. They're average, they're normal, they're almost boring in the everyday sense. Like when I dream for fantasticalness. I dream for weird adventures and love and knights and dragons and zombie apocalypses and all that good stuff. But I don't dream of punching someone's face in or taking too many laxatives. That's not something I would want to dream about or share with anybody. These dreams aren't anything that I would consider worth sharing. They seem to be kind of cool stories. Like if it happened in everyday life, like, oh my god, guess what I did last weekend? I took like 82 laxatives and spent some time in the bathroom. That's like a story you would tell a friend, but like not something you would necessarily put on a website. It doesn't seem as interesting as it could be. So like I said, they make cool like real life stories, but really lackluster dreams. So that being said, my subjective response to this website wasn't full of emotional epiphanies or anything really exciting. My response was pretty much annoyance. Why are these stories on here? Why are these stories worth getting a website? What are the connections? Why aren't they better? As bad as that sounds, why aren't they better? There's no real common thread, and they don't make sense as to why they should be told or shared, and I don't really understand why it's a website of its own. But that being said, it was a pretty cool website layout-wise, and it was interesting. It just kind of deserves cooler content to go with the awesome imagery. And that was my experience with this website. Hope you liked it.